Hello everyone, welcome to the most important topic of today. In this tutorial, I will talk about how to write high quality research paper. The research paper which we aim to publish in a reputed journal or conferences. So follow this video that I am going to discuss one by one and you will get benefit of all these important and significant points. The first thing that we want to start to write a research paper is we should know, why do I need to write a research paper? What is the need that I am going to write this research paper? This question should be cleared before you are starting to write any research paper. Here are some points that we want to write a research paper and we require to write a research paper. The first point is we want to write the research paper to impress our friends. So if we are in a group of friends, obviously we have friends. So we are writing research papers, we are doing research in order to impress them, that they should know that we have this capability and we are doing a research and creating a new idea or extending a previous idea and present our results to the society and people. The second point that we need to write a research paper is we want to get benefit in higher education. Suppose you are a PhD student, you are a master degree students, or you are a BTech students. What you require, you are writing the research paper in order to get benefit in your higher education. The third one is to get recognition. The third point here is we are writing a research paper, we are doing research in order to get recognition in our community, in our society, or even in all over the globe. We want to show our capabilities, our academic abilities to the people around the world that we have this type and this sorts of capabilities that we want to show you, and you can use our knowledge for further research purposes. The next factor is that we want to write the research, that we want to work on a research is to get promotion. To get promotion in our academic life, to get promotion in our daily life. And the important points that we want to do research is we have a unique idea, and this idea is only with us. How we can transfer and share this idea to different people around the globe, around our society. So we cannot do it directly without research. So what we require, we have to perform a research work and share and implement our new and significant idea, and then we need to publish this idea through reputed journals, through conferences, through workshops, in order that everyone should get benefit of our idea, and as well as we share this idea with different people and let people know that we have such kind of important and vital idea that can benefit a part of the society. Next question which comes while we want to start the research is where do I begin? This is very challenging issue in doing a research work. Where do I begin is the important step, and most of us will face problem while planning to conduct the research work. We don't know how to start. We don't know where to start. We don't know what to do. So this question, where do I begin? And the more you think, the more confused you get. So leave these things. Just the first step of success is to just start. We have to start. How to begin? I will share those points, that where we should begin, how to begin, and to start the research work on our research paper or whatever idea we have to share with the community. Now see the first things. Know the focus of your research paper. The first step, that where you should begin, before you want to begin, remember this point, that you should know the focus of your research paper. What your research paper is focusing on. Your research paper is focused on the impact of some technology on education aspects, or your research paper focuses on avoiding some diseases in a society based on some factors. So once you focus, you know the focus of your research, then ask a question from yourself. What is the central theme of the work? What work you want to do on? What is the central theme? What is the central context of your research work? On what subject you want to start your research? It is so simple. The one who wants to perform any research work, he knows he has his own field of research, field of study, and we can only perform a good research paper and while we are working on our own field. Suppose you are a computer engineer, you are a software engineer, so your research focus should be on software engineering, or your research paper focus should be on information technology, because that's your field and you have a good background knowledge. The next step is determine the significance of the work. If you don't know the significance of your work, your research, so stop doing research work. Don't waste your time. What is the significance of your work? Means how your work is important for people, community, and the globe. So whether your work benefit the research community or not, if you are performing any research work and you know that my research work is not benefiting any society, any people, so stop doing that, because that's a waste of time. What you do, once you found out your significance of work, once you determine the significance of your work, and you know that my research can benefit community, then start working on that. The step that how we can perform this, I will briefly explain and share with you in the next coming minutes. Now see steps in writing a research paper. So once we have focused, we find the focus of our research work, and we have determined the theme of our research work, the significance of our research work has been found, has been identified. Now, what are those steps to write our research paper? These steps are, the first one is select a research area. What should be your research area? So in any field, there are multiple areas. For example, if you consider computer science, software engineering, so inside software engineering there are multiple other areas. Like in software engineering, you are working on software prediction, defect predictions, you are working on software engineering education, or you are working for some other specific topics in the field. So select that research area. Or you are working in machine learning, you are working on face detection, or you are working on any other area. So this is very important points and steps that you should select the research area first. Once you have selected, the next step is review existing research work. Review existing research work means, once I have selected my research area, for example, I have selected my research area in software engineering education and training. How software engineers should be trained for students. So once I have selected this area. Then the next step is, what is my responsibility? The next step is, I have to review the existing research work. What do we mean by this? Existing research work means what the researchers have already done in this field. It means in the selected area we have selected, before us, hundreds and thousands of researchers already worked on this field. So what we require, we have to download those research papers related to our area. Once we have downloaded, we have to review these. We have to read them. I will talk about this. It's called the literature review. Briefly, just how you can perform a good literature review on your research paper. The next step is, once you have reviewed this research work, next step you have to find gaps in the existing research. So your aim is to find research gaps in the existing works. So when you are reading those previous research works on your selected area, your aim should be to find gaps on those research area. What are the gaps? What are the problems that are not mentioned in this research paper? So find those gaps. Once you have find those gaps, so your research area and your research path will be so easy that you can go through your research paper and you can perform your research paper in a good and better manner. The next step is identify focus of your research. So once you have reviewed the existing research, find the gaps, then what you have to do? Identify focus of your research. Now your research focus will be so close, narrow, and you are on the specific way to perform your research. Because you find now on what specific topic I have to do my research with. The next is develop research hypothesis. So once you have do all these 4 steps, the next you have to develop your own hypothesis, research hypothesis. And research hypothesis, what you want to accept, what you want to reject, what you want to prove while you are doing this research. So this is your hypothesis. You have to develop your research hypothesis. What you want to do in this research? What previous work, you want to accept it, reject it. So this is what your research hypothesis. And the next one is design outline of the work. So once you have followed all these steps, the next steps you should outline your work. Now it means you are ready to just write your research paper. You are ready to prepare your research work. So you require to design an outline of the work. And once you have did these steps, the next step is devise first draft. Create your first draft of your research paper. The first draft of your research paper is just a raw draft. It is a draft that you have just worked on that and you have put it all together. That is called the draft. So it means it is not completed. It is still, it has more process, more issues are available in your research. So once you have devised this, the next step is what you should do. Revise the first draft. Read it again and again, and if possible, submit your first draft to one of your friend who is an expert in this field. So ask them to help you in reviewing your first draft, because if they read your draft, they can find more pros and issues in your research, and they will point it out for you, and you can noting all together all the points that they have pointed out, and you can improve your research work by amending those comments that you have received from your friends. And the last one is develop the final draft. So once you have performed all these steps, you devise the draft, revise it, then develop the final draft of your research paper. The next step, once you are developing the final draft, then you are doing reporting and presenting the results. The next step, you have to report your results. What results you have found. So report the result of your research paper, that these are my research results. I performed this research and these are my results. The next is research paper structure. So while we want to submit our paper to different journals, we have to prepare our research paper structure. How we can structure the paper. This is very important that I will talk in a separate video about how we can structure our research paper, what steps we have to follow on it. And the next one is the research ethics. We have to consider the research ethics. So what is research ethics? In the next videos, I will talk about these research ethics, what steps, what points we have to follow and obey whenever we are developing any research paper or whenever we are performing any research work. The structure of the research paper I will talk in the next video. So follow our channel, follow these videos, and don't forget to watch the next video. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and share the videos.